In this video, how I burn belly fat in the morning. I'm going to share with you 3 habits I use to lose about 40 pounds and a lot of belly fat. Let's jump right into it. Hello and welcome. My name is Frank and I create videos documenting my health and wellness journey. So like I said in the beginning, I'm going to share with you 3 habits that I found to be really helpful in losing the 40 pounds that I lost and a lot of the belly fat. So the first habit I felt that helped me was actually something I didn't do, and that was I skipped breakfast. I learned about intermittent fasting for fat loss, and once I got the hang of it, I actually really felt like it was one of the things that really propelled or really pushed my success forward. Now, I've always been a night person, so skipping breakfast wasn't the hardest thing for me to do. In yesterday's video, I talked about how I drank water, the different ways I drank water to lose weight. And I may have mentioned in that video how I felt like that was one of the easier things for me to do with weight loss or losing weight. However, skipping breakfast and fasting was one of those things that was pretty easy as well. I struggle with other things when it comes to weight loss, but those 2 things, and this thing specifically, fasting, isn't one of them. And that's just me. For you, it may be difficult, but you may have it easier or may find other things easier than I do when it comes to losing weight. So fasting, I won't drag this out. What I did is I started with the 16-8 method. And basically, I ate all my meals in an 8-hour window, and I didn't eat for a 16-hour window. And what that looked like was I probably would eat my first meal around noon, and I would try to finish all my meals by 8 in the evening. This, for me, like I said, worked the best. And then eventually I did things like OMAD, which were 1 meal a day, and I would do prolonged fast, which were a little longer. But for this specific video, I skipped breakfast. I learned about fasting by reading books like this that I'll link to in the description. If you're interested, I would watch videos here on YouTube. I signed up for a course. And even now, even though I know a decent amount about fasting, I don't know everything. I signed up for Mind Valley recently, and I'm taking a course called Beyond Fasting because I want to see how other people talk about it. Maybe he'll introduce something that maybe I don't know or I'm not aware of. I'll create videos on that maybe down the road. So to sum up this first habit, I skipped breakfast, I started fasting, and that I felt like helped me lose a lot of belly fat. The second habit to burn belly fat in the morning was walking. I got up early, started walking in the mornings. And I felt like this to me was super helpful for a lot of reasons. Exercising in the morning puts me in just a lot better of a state. And what I mean by that, even just this morning, I got up early and I got to bed late last night. Today's a Monday, so what happens usually for Mondays is like I was up late the previous 2 days, so Monday's always like a little weird with sleep for me. However, I got up, I was able to exercise, and I have some food upstairs that's already prepared for dinner that I just have to throw into the oven. And having those 2 things done, for some reason, just mentally puts me in a much better place. I don't feel overwhelmed by that decision fatigue of what I'm going to prepare for dinner or what I'm going to do or when I'm going to exercise, basically. So walking in the mornings for me was a big part of losing that belly fat and losing those 40 pounds. And one thing I'm not crazy about with the weight loss niche is that for every person that says black, there's always another person that's going to say white. And what I mean by that is some people talk about working out on a full belly. Some people talk about it's better to do on an empty stomach. And what I'm trying to do here is build off the first habit when I talked about the fasting. The walking for me, I always felt like my energy levels were good. And if they were low, it was probably due to poor sleep and not because I didn't eat anything. That wasn't the case. So if you're wondering how you would feel working out on empty stomach, it may be different for you. However, for me, I felt like my energy levels, especially for just walking, were totally fine. And like I was saying, there are a lot of people that actually think that it's really beneficial to walk in what they call a fasted state. So if you get up in the morning and you start going for a walk or you're walking on an empty stomach, your body is using its fat stores as energy versus, let's say, maybe you've had a couple pieces of fruit and then went for the walk. your body's going to go ahead and use the energy from that fruit before it's going to tap into its energy stores. A lot of people recommend walking in a fasted state, saying that it's really beneficial for fat loss, fat oxidation. Time will tell, although, like I said, from a personal experience, I do feel like walking in the mornings was beneficial. The third thing I did was I incorporated a morning routine that was focused on health and wellness. So I've talked about the Miracle Morning pretty often on the channel. If you're not familiar with the book, it basically talks about incorporating 6 personal development practices into a morning routine. One of them being exercise, which I already accomplished. The other ones were reading, journaling, affirmations, visualizations. And what I did was I dedicated some time in the morning to reading and learning more about fat loss. Over time, I tweaked that morning routine. I'm always tweaking it to try to find out what the best morning routine for me is to accomplish and reach my goals. However, I completely focused that morning routine on health and wellness. If you want to learn more about the habits and routines I'm using to burn belly fat, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.